Well, it's another day in Biden's America, boys and girls. You know, that happy place where we're building back better and we're told that what we're seeing is not what we're seeing. Welcome to Biden's America.
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth. I'm surviving at the top of the line.
So, our government takes an entire week and allows a Chinese spy balloon to just float over the United States, and then eventually they take decisive action and they shoot it down over the Atlantic Ocean after it's already hovered over military installation sites, our nuclear silos, and other strategic things of interest, just, kind of casually like a tourist making its way across the United States. But we took decisive action. And then, in the last 72 hours, we've shot down 4 objects out of the sky that we're not being told what they are, and they're leaving open the possibility it could be a UFO, which has now got 1/3 of our population. You know, those people that stay up late at night and used to listen to Art Bell on the radio, interview UFOs that are now, this is it. This is New Mexico secret area kind of stuff. We're shooting down UFOs. We're shooting down balloons. One of them may have been one of our own national weather balloons, but the National Weather Service doesn't want to say anything and implicate Biden's air farce. And all of that is designed to look at the shiny object over here and pay no attention to Chernobyl, Ohio. Oh, I'm sorry, East Palestine, Ohio, where a train derailment caused the leakage of thousands of gallons of toxic chemicals that they did a controlled burn on, and a mushroom cloud went up over East Palestine, Ohio. But hey, everything's okay. Everything is fine. It's completely safe. The EPA has signed off on it. Remember, the EPA signed off on Ground Zero right after 9/11. There were no toxins in the air. There were no problems as a result of, quote unquote, a terrorist attack on the World Trade Center, leveling 2 buildings, thousands of lives lost, but nothing to see here. Get on with your days. We've restored cell phone service. You can go back to playing Angry Birds and not paying attention to what your government is up to. Isn't that funny? The spy balloon happened right about the time we're really getting things interesting with regard to Biden really getting interesting, with Biden having classified files. And now even more files have been found. Of course, we're not talking about them because Mike Pence has them too. Mike Pence, I'm not sure if he's just a stoop or a dupe. And what do I mean by that? Well, Mike Pence said, I don't have any classified files. And then Shazam Batman, he has 1 or 2. Now, is that because he's just kind of stupid? Or, again, he is the traitor that I told you he was 2 years into the Trump administration, and he proved that on January the 6th, what an absolute traitor he is. And I'm sorry, I don't buy his whole phony, I'm a Christian, I'm a this, no, you're a liar. You're a liar, and the heat was on Joe Biden. He had some serious problems with classified files. What Donald Trump had, the government knew about. They were in negotiation how to give them back, but Team Biden decided they needed a photo op, and they got the Department of Justice and Garrick Marlin to send in the FBI, kick down doors, and make this big splash, hoping to impale Donald Trump so that he wouldn't seek re-election. Well, that backfired. Well, then we start having this treasure trove of Joe Biden having classified files. And once Mike Pence came out and said, oops, I got them too, that kind of took Biden off the table, even though more and more files and file cases from even the 1970s are turning up. And it may just be the fact that even the late night comedians trying to give Biden some cover with Trump saying, well, Biden had a few, but Trump had hundreds. Well, it may just be that Biden has more than even Trump had. And we knew about Trump's, and Trump's were under lock and key and under Secret Service guard. Joe Biden's were in his garage. They were in his beach house. They're in empty offices that everybody apparently has access to. No supply chain referendum on how any of this stuff was actually transferred anywhere. That's the Biden administration. And just as we were starting to uncover all of that and more content on Hunter's laptop, Shazam, Batman, we got balloons. And now our Air Force is shooting down balloons and making you think it could be a UFO. And while we're doing all of that, Pete Buttigieg, the former mayor of South Bend, Indiana, who was the affirmative action hire along with the Black Shirley Temple, who is the White House press secretary, Pete Buttigieg just kind of occupying a seat as the transportation secretary until he gets a chance to run for president again, because after all, he's a moderate liberal. He checks off the right boxes. He's progressive enough. He endorses the Green New Deal just enough. He's a neocon. He's also a warmonger. He's a veteran. He's gay. He's got kids. And apparently his only real qualification is who he has sex with. And, you know, I'm going to say this again, and if you want to deem this as intolerant, I'm sorry. But I really don't understand that we have to have flags and recognition and months of celebration and corporations and businesses and theme parks have to endorse a Pride Month where what we're celebrating is who a person has sex with. Kids don't know the names of the great inventors who actually shaped the 20th century, shaped the 21st century, which really shaped the American destiny. They don't know any of those names. They don't know any of the accomplishments of our founders, other than they were white and they had slaves. But we will celebrate an entire people based on who they have sex with, based on parts of the anatomy they place their own sexual organs into another. I'm sorry if that's graphic and that's blunt, but that's reality. And Pete Buttigieg has almost nothing to say about the train derailment in Ohio, which is under his purview as transportation secretary, as it leaks toxins into the air. By reports, we're having fish turning up dead. Pets and animals that live in the area are dying by the hundreds and thousands. But the EPA has said it's okay. Yes, it's in some of the water, but it's not in your drinking water. Reporters are being arrested if they get too close. But there's no there. There's nothing to see here, people. Move along. This is Joe Biden, the most transparent administration ever. We couldn't have Orange Man. He was a tyrant going to plunge us into World War III. What are we doing in Ukraine? Why did we release a statement telling all of U.S. citizens in Russia, get out, come home? Who's plunging us into World War III? Who stripped us of our rights and put us in never-ending lockdown? Who did that? Who did that? Was that Donald Trump or was that Joe Biden? And quietly, the CDC is saying, through some new studies that have come out, they finally had to concede that I have to be careful what I say because for whatever reason, despite other people able to talk freely here on YouTube about COVID and COVID restrictions, I can't. I keep getting strikes and taken down. But apparently the CDC is now acknowledging that wearing the hat didn't do anything. We knew that. But we were conspiracists if we said anything. Yeah, that came out yesterday. Nobody's talking about it because we're talking about the UFOs being shot down by the U.S. Air Force. And I want to know, where are you real progressives on this, especially you vegans that are lecturing everyone that we're, eating animals and we're making, other animals cry. I want to know, where are the Richard Dreyfuses right now from Close Encounters of the Third Kind demanding that instead of shooting these people down, why are we not making contact with them? After all, they're an advanced civilization. We can learn from them. So the Biden administration with a wink is trying to make you think that maybe the big guy is saving us from a Martian invasion. When in reality, inflation is killing us. The food supply chain is nowhere near back to normal in our supermarkets. You got to take out a mortgage on your house to buy eggs. I've heard that's the go-to Valentine gift. How much do you really love your woman? You're willing to spend the kind of money to buy a dozen eggs. Pay raises are not keeping up with inflation. Everything in this country is broken. We have no control of the border. Hunter is a criminal. He received money from a foreign entity for influence that was passed on to Joe, which is why we're giving billions to Ukraine. It's payback time. And we are going to have thousands of people for years to come going to have cancer and serious health issues over a train derailment in Ohio, but there's nothing to see here, people. Nothing to see. Move along. Welcome to Biden's America.